Starbucks is not just coffee shops. A cardboard cup of coffee with a green siren and a name written in marker has become a symbol of a fulfilling lifestyle not only in America, but throughout the world. It is impossible to say that this is the merit of marketing alone. Starbucks is a truly unique company that sets global trends in product quality and customer service. But that's for business. Why should a far-from-budget Starbucks be of interest to an ordinary buyer? Consider where the siren has sailed in almost 50 years, what makes it related to the pacifist hangout, and why coffee at Starbucks is really more than just coffee. Many have heard that the genius president of the Starbucks empire is Howard Schultz, but in fact, the story did not begin with him, but with hippies. With three hippie friends from Seattle, the not-so-talented writer Gordon Boker, who was dismissed from school because of the pacifist slogans of the history teacher Zev Sigel and the English teacher Jerry Baldwin. The three founders met as students at the University of San Francisco. The history of Starbucks is inextricably linked with another coffee company. Baldwin, Siegel, and Boker were taught how to roast coffee by Alfred Peet, founder of the world-famous Peet's Coffee and Tea. In 1971, they opened a small shop selling authentic coffee, tea, and spices. As true humanists, they chose the name for the store from the literature. Starbuck was called the chief assistant captain from the novel Moby Dick. And the first logo became Bood engraving of the 16th century, naked two-tailed siren. So the creators both supported the maritime theme and stressed that their product is for those who see the essence and think in broader stereotypes and cultural prejudices. A little later, friends saved money and bought the first equipment. This allowed them to roast coffee beans right on the spot, in the store. A few years later, the company had 5 stores and 1 coffee factory, several cafes and restaurants took delivery only from Starbucks. From humble beginnings in Seattle's Pike Place Market, Starbucks grew to a total of 6 stores in the Seattle area by 1986. In 1987, the original owners sold the Starbucks brand to a coffee business owner Howard Schultz, who piggybacked on top of his existing brands to expand the company aggressively. Deified by many, Howard Schultz appeared on the path of Starbucks absolutely by chance, 10 years after the discovery. As a representative of a trading company for the sale of dishes, he wandered into one of the company's stores in Seattle and was almost fanatically imbued with the atmosphere that prevailed there. Throwing his work and settled as a marketer at Starbucks, Schultz began to gush with ideas. Schultz's main message was that Starbucks's philosophy of quality, aesthetics, and comfort is worthy of a different format, urban coffee houses. He was inspired by Italian espresso bars, where over a cup of coffee, people chatted with the barista, conducted important negotiations, got to know each other, held romantic dates, had a bite to eat with friends. According to his projects, Starbucks could become an important part of social life and people around the world. But the creators of the company were strongly opposed to such a turn. After several attempts to introduce and expand boundaries, Howard changed tactics and left Starbucks. Baldwin, Boker, and Siegel did not long rest from the annoying Schultz. After leaving the company, he founded his network of small coffee shops Il Giornale, after the name of the Italian newspaper. In them, he embodied all his ideas about the culture of coffee in a big city and quickly went to a crazy profit. After a year and a half of independent work, in 1987 he was able to redeem the entire network of his favorite Starbucks for a fabulous $4 million and merge brands. And away we go. And the same year, branded coffee shops inside the stores marched through America. A product catalog was released, the purchasing audience widened, the company's shares appeared on the stock exchanges and began to grow by leaps and bounds. In the first 5 years of management, Howard increased the company's profits by more than 50 times. By 1992, investors received an income of 5,000 times their initial investment. The company logo has changed, the siren settled in a green circle and became a little more welcoming. Employees of coffee houses became co-owners of the shares. Schultz could not offer everyone full medical insurance and instead distributed small packages of company securities to employees. He was called an idiot, but the service from this reached a new level. The client seemed to come home to every barista. Fresh baked goods, salads, sweets were added to the menu. And also on sale there was a branded ware with constantly changing design. Starbucks did not enter the international market for a long time due to the translation difficulties and the fear of becoming McDonald's. Howard Schultz was very worried about how the Starbucks brand atmosphere would be transported to other countries with a different culture and attitude to work. But in 1996, the first coffee house outside the US still opened. It was the city of Tokyo. It is very difficult to run in new projects in the capital of Japan because of the huge competition-specific mentality, but all succeeded. Franchises dreamed of buying all the major cities of Europe and Asia. Starbucks has become a global brand with 25,000 points. The popularization of coffee culture has reached a peak. The cardboard cup won the planet, the siren became a superstar. Despite the meteoric rise, the global recession in 2008 put Starbucks' Cinderella story on pause while the world's economies sputtered and crashed. Starbucks announced in July that they were closing 600 Starbucks locations, a staggering number considering that 10 years prior, 600 stores would have been about half of all their locations. Although the recession ultimately cost Starbucks a sizable chunk of its stores and a large number of its workers' jobs, it proved to be little more than a speed bump. Starbucks began to recover and thrive as the recession eased and economies kicked back into gear. It's easy to lose sight of the mind-boggling fact that Starbucks is not franchised. Unlike another global giant McDonald's, each Starbucks is owned by the parent company. Individuals cannot own and operate a Starbucks in the way a McDonald's franchise owner can. Instead, Starbucks operates under a license agreement. As of September 2020, there are 32,660 Starbucks around the globe in 83 countries. Starbucks' growth over time shows a clear exponential curve indicative of the explosive impact they've had on the coffee industry. It is infeasible to expect the growth rate to continue at this level, with Starbucks themselves targeting 55,000 locations worldwide in the next decade. Starbucks has already reached over $1 billion in annual revenue, posting an astronomical $2.3 billion in revenue in 2020. Starbucks facts. Like any talented commercial network, Starbucks has several unique marketing techniques that make it popular. Personalization. Your name, written on the glass, personal address to you barista, all this creates a feeling that you are always welcome to see, your tastes will be given special attention and you are very important for this institution. The quality of the product. All drinks from the menu are prepared by proprietary technologies from genuine high-quality raw materials and have their own shades of taste. For example, espresso will give a little tart caramel, and mocha, walnut and vanilla. In addition, the drink can be changed to your taste. For example, to make it completely unsweetened, use soy milk or add some special syrup. Location. Coffee houses are located only on the streets with high tourist or residential traffic. Initially, they were put solely on the ways where most people go to work every day and return home. Starbucks is always where you want to relax. Interior. The design of the rooms is different, but always looks calm, cozy, and warm. Practically near each table there will be a different finish. Playing music does not distract from conversations and work. The lighting is soft, but quite intensive. The room always smells like coffee. Even the windows and doors are located in a special way, only on the south or west side. This was done so that the bright sun did not shine into the eyes of the customers. Communication. All employees communicate with the client in the process of making coffee. It is considered quite normal to be friends with customers, and not just to pretend. Lonely people have become much more comfortable to visit public places and not feel uncomfortable. Drinking coffee, tea, or ordinary water is a matter of taste, but to feel the real atmosphere of the American Starbucks exactly owes everyone. Starbucks continues to innovate and adapt to the changing times and push the boundaries of what it means to be a mainstream coffee chain. From vegan-friendly choices to an extensive array of tea and snacks, Starbucks has grown beyond its purely coffee origins to be a one-stop shop for coffee and snacks for people on the go, wherever they may be. The coffee industry faces new challenges every day. From climate change affecting growing conditions to unsustainable farming practices, the future of coffee has never been more uncertain. One thing is certain, however. Wherever the coffee industry goes in the next several decades, Starbucks is sure to be there, leading the way as the de facto face of coffee. That's it for today. If you found the video interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.